There are those of you who will never get to the next level in success or in your life because when you get to this point, you bend. It's simple. My man said it. You can do whatever you want to do.
And you're not going to flip the switch at 30 years old and have the big house, nice cars, and a fat bank account just because you wished it. You got to put in the work now, and that work compounds and accumulates and puts you in a position to have that opportunity when you are of that age.
So what did I do? I worked. I worked to such an extreme level that when I push you on work, I don't even ask you to do 50% of what I did.
Then your mama didn't like the fact that you was doing it. Your mama didn't understand, and you let your mama in your ear. Like it was your mama's dream. You let your daddy talk you out of it. That was yours. That was something the Creator gave to you. That belonged to you. My mother never understood, but she working for me now. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder.
You've never done something before. You expect yourself to be awesome at it. You haven't done the work. You haven't put in the time. You haven't put in the study hours.
And what I'm doing now, I was doing 20 years ago, and I have not been. I didn't break. So what? You don't understand how I do what I do. This is what I've been called to. And under no circumstances will I surrender. Under no circumstance will I quit.
Somebody who succeeds, you want to be somebody who builds something, you want to be somebody who people write books about one day.
Hear what I'm saying? Don't feed into it. Don't believe the hype. Somebody told you that hard work don't pay off, and you let a little pain stop you from your dream. Girl, you was there. You was running your business. You were there. Listen to me. If you work for it, if you're willing to put in that sweat, that blood, and those tears, baby, I'm telling you, you can have what you want, be what you want, do what you want. Are you hearing me?
During that point, what did I do? Is I did what I preached to all of you, which is I put in the work. I gave up all my weekends and holidays in high school because I knew I had to pay that price because I wasn't gonna do I'm gonna go to school, meet some good kids at Stanford and Brown, Ivy League school, make some relationships, and that's gonna be my springboard. I was gonna start with no relationships and in the gutter, and I was gonna have to prove it. And I would have to show up and meet everybody like I did in my 30s. But in my teens and 20s, I was gonna have to work. And so what I did was, to the extreme of anybody I've met that had options, I punted every leisure activity in my life. Nothing. No weekends, no vacations, zero, nothing. Nothing. It's my truth. I didn't take a single vacation day. Never. Zero. All my high school friends, gone, because I wasn't around. All my college friends, post-college, gone. Girlfriends, nothing. All in.
Kobe Bryant doesn't sit there and talk about how many MVPs he's won or how many championships he's won. No, he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning practicing every day. He's not great because he's great. He's great because he puts the work in on a daily basis and he wins every day.
And if you want it, you gotta go get it. You gotta play hard for it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? It's not for the weak and the uncommitted. The reason why you saying no to stuff, the reason why you pushing the snooze button, the reason why you still going to work tripping, the reason why you ain't blow up is because you still on 70%, you still on 60%. You wanna know why the world's passing you up? Because whatever you do for a living, you barely doing it. You coming and you don't wanna be there. You not bringing the fire. You gotta do it quick. You gotta do it fast. You gotta do it in a hurry. Why? Because there's somebody else who's on the same track you on. Somebody else who, listen to me, they're on the same path that you on. Listen to me, it's somebody else just like you trying to do it, and sometimes they're working just as hard as you're working.
Quit using the word luck, quit believing in luck, and start believing in work. Start believing in fortunate. Start believing in results that come from your actions. And when you do that, and you wholeheartedly believe it, guess what? That's what starts to happen.
The hardest worker in the room is always going to be the talented guy who doesn't work hard. In the end, maybe not every time, but in the end, hard work always wins. Talent doesn't guarantee you anything in this world. A good education doesn't guarantee you anything in this world. The world is riddled with smart people who have never achieved anything of significance. This world is full of talented individuals that never made it. The world is full of expensively educated kids that are outperformed by high school dropouts.
Talent won't get you anywhere if you don't work for it. Talent won't get you anywhere if you have no heart. Talent is nothing if you have no guts. The one who is hungrier to reach the top will always get there before the talented guy. Maybe not immediately, but in the end, hungry always wins. In the end, hard work always wins. In the end, heart wins. Courage wins. In the end, the one who is more dedicated to reach the top will win. How can you beat the guy who will do whatever it takes? You can't. Hard work always beats talent when talent thinks he is too good to work hard. Talent can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse. It can make you think you don't need to work as hard as the other guy. And that is a mistake, my friend. Because the other guy is hungry. He is hunting your ass down, ready to fight. Fight for everything. Fight for his family. Fight for his legacy. Fight for everything.
Most people give up in life because they come up with all sorts of excuses why they can't make it. They didn't get the right education. They aren't as talented as the other guy. They don't have the money. Listen, excuses are for the weak. It wouldn't take you long to find a massive success story who came from little education, no talent, but a relentless desire to succeed. This world is full of stories of greatness from nothing.
It is never too late for you to start your own story. Every setback, every failure has formed part of your story. Don't let anything stop you from writing the rest of it. You are hungry. You will make it. Don't back down. Win at all costs.
As Derek Jeter said, there may be people who have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do. At the end of the day, whether you believe in talent or not is completely irrelevant. Everyone should believe in hard work. Everything in your life is literally a result of that. You're born an infant, a lump of flesh that can't even hold its own head up. And yet somehow, by practicing, by learning, by growing, you're able to get better. You're literally incapable of anything when you're born. Every skill that you have in your life, all the things that you take for granted, at one point you couldn't do them. So understanding that humans truly are an adaptation machine and that they are capable of acquiring any skill that they want, but it requires hard work. It requires that you do the reps. It requires that you put in the effort. And at the end of the day, the people that you're going to surpass are not going to be the people that have less talent than you. Maybe they even have more talent than you. It's going to be the people that you're willing to outwork. But until you're willing to outwork them, you're always going to be stuck. And as John Irving said, to do anything really well, you have to overextend yourself. And that's the key. If you want to put in an extraordinary performance, if you want to absolutely dazzle people, then you have to do something amazing. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to do things that other people think are going to break you, that other people simply believe there's no way that you could be able to pull that off, that the human animal just is not capable of the lengths to which you are professing to go. And when you profess it, you have to be willing to back it up, and you have to put yourself on that march knowing in no uncertain terms, under no circumstances, and for no reason whatsoever would you ever be willing to back down. And when you go in with that level of certainty, then and only then are you actually going to be able to pull this off. And as Billie Jean King said, champions keep playing until they get it right. Fatigue will literally chip away at your will to win. It is the thing inside of your mind, that weak voice that tells you that you're not going to be able to make it, the weak voice that begs you to stop, and the weak voice that promises safety and security if you would just quit. And here's the worst part about that. It's right. If you quit right now, if you stop, just sit down, relax. You're not at risk anymore. You're not at risk of embarrassment. You're not at risk of failure. But you're also not at risk of greatness. And if you really want to achieve something, you've got to find ways to put yourself at risk of something great happening. You've got to put yourself at risk of overextending yourself. You've got to be willing to face that you may die, that you may actually fall. And here's the thing, for the people that dismiss that say they would never put themselves in that situation, then you have limits. And make no mistake, those limits are self-placed. And for the people that are willing to push that, for people that are willing to go beyond that, for people who understand there are things in this world that they're prepared to die for, and it is the thing that they put at the center of their life. It is the thing that they are living for, but they're not going to stop, and they understand that where the human mind thinks it will break is far short of where it will actually break. But before you can find that point, you've got to be willing to push yourself. You've got to be willing to go harder and farther than anybody thinks is reasonable or sensible. That's the path. And so the question is, can you be thought a fool? The question is, do you believe in something so much that you would put yourself at risk like that? The question is, can you face down everyone, including the weak voice inside of your own mind, to make the world come true that you want to see come true? Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to do it for you. So if you're a champion, keep going until it's done. As Theodore Vail noted, real difficulties can be overcome. It's only the imaginary ones that are unconquerable. The reason that I love that is because it is a powerful reminder. At the end of the day, you're choosing what to believe. At the end of the day, all those things in your head that seem like you could never get over them, you've made them up. You've decided to obsessively focus on those things. And as Oprah said, what we dwell on is who we become. And think about that for a second. Think about today. Just audit your thoughts. What did you spend your time thinking on? Did you obsessively think about the way that things could go right? Or did you obsessively think about the things that could go wrong? All the myriad ways that you need to protect yourself. And that's how it feels. In the moment, you think, I'm just planning for the worst case scenario. I'm thinking through all the ways that something could go wrong so that I can be prepared for it. Not understanding that what you're doing is focusing on all the ways that it could go wrong. They're imagined futures. They are not real. And in that, like a race car driver goes where the eyes go, you will go where your thoughts go. You will become your thoughts. So instead of boxing yourself in and thinking only about all the different ways that something could be bad, could break, could fall to pieces, think about all the things that you could do if you take the action, all the myriad ways that things could come to your aid and work out for the better. Obsessively think on that and let failure be a total surprise. In that, you will take the actions that you need to be successful. But first, you've got to train yourself to obsess over all the ways your life could go right. From there, you'll act.
You got to put your whole self in, right? You got to cut off the cell phone. You got to, no TV. There were those of you who were watching the game last night, you really didn't have no business watching these boys win a national title, going to the NBA, making millions. You didn't have no business watching them because you're not where you need to be. Right? Some of y'all don't have no business watching the basketball game because you're not where you need to be. If you put your whole self in and got a 1.5, I'm loving you. 2-3 years from now, that 1.5 is going to turn into a 2.5. You're going to be all right. I know from personal experience. So we got 3 weeks. I need all televisions off. I need cell phones off. Listen to me. Some of you gonna be broke for the rest of your life because of that little thing on the side. You're gonna be broke for the rest of your life because of a little cell phone. And so you got 3 weeks. I need you to study like you've never studied before. I need you up all night long studying. You hear me say this all the time. For some of you, this is it. You've heard me say it before. You play games when you come here because you got gear on. But you know where you're from in Detroit. You know where you're from in Flint. You know where you're from in Saginaw. And you know your parents are broke. You know some of you got about 7, 8 folks living in one house. And it ain't no real room for you when you go back. This is your opportunity to blow up. But we know the reality for some of us where we live. And our parents don't have no money. And they taking out loans, working 2 or 3 jobs for you while you up here playing. Listen to me, I need you to put your whole self in for the next 3 weeks. You got it. And even you say, Eric, look, man, you don't understand. If I put everything in, I'm still gonna get a 1.0. I'm telling you to do it anyway. Because, you know, I told you I flunked English 3 times, like the little basic one. So listen to me, I need you to give 120% these last few weeks. All right, don't go home. Wherever you're from, don't go home. This is your home now.
It's like you don't.
A lot of people talking about what they're gonna do. But how many of y'all today are gonna decide to do it? I want you to write, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. I'm a king. Are you a king? Or a queen? I'm just asking. Are you in the gym? Are you doing anything to walk towards your goals of being in shape, more focused, getting an A+ on those tests? Are you training as hard as you know you're supposed to be training to make the team or stay on the team?
You worked your ass off. You got up at 6 a.m. in the morning. You decided to stay in your college dorm and not party, drink, smoke, and get high. You decided to focus and get away from all of the distractions so that you can pass that bar exam and that test. You decided to focus so that you can get a high test grade on your SAT scores and end up going to college to play sports, football, basketball, or anything that your college degrees allowed you to do and become. You decided to focus and get it done. You sacrificed all of the fun, the perks, and all of the fun shit you could have been doing because you were that focused on getting out of your own way, breaking the cycle, breaking the devil cycle of your own family and your surroundings.
I decided to love myself enough to want better, desire better, and seek better, and move in the direction of something better. What is the next level of you? Are you done? Are you done evolving? That shit that you accomplished was 5 years ago. It's over. You're still alive. You getting on your knees every night and you praying, but then you getting off of your knees and ain't doing shit. You can't get points today for yesterday's game. I don't give a fuck how much money is in my account. I'm gonna make a statement every day. I wanna become the things that I see. Go get it. If you got a problem with your life and your career, stop complaining about it. You spend so much time on your knees are bleeding. Get up off your knees and do the work. There is more to do. I don't care how much money I have in my pocket. I'm trying to be significant. Does anybody know how much money was in Martin Luther King's bank account? How much did Nelson Mandela have in his bank account before he died? He was significant. He made a statement. He lived his life with a sense of purpose. He was selfless. He wanted to make a difference in everybody's life and everybody he ever came in contact with. I refuse to be another man that lived and died and wasn't significant. Period.
I love you. I repeat, I love you. If no one has ever told you this, if no one told you this today, this week, this month, this year, or this very second, I want you to know I love you. And I also want you to know that the fact that you're still alive and still on this earth, even though it's been challenging and rough, and sometimes you get discouraged and uninspired to keep going, God has a plan. You will grow through what you go through. Everything that you're going through, at some point, it makes no sense to you right now. But at some point, God is going to reveal to you why all of these issues, challenges, and problems continue to show up and what you were supposed to learn from it. You will grow through what you go through. It's time to do something significant. It's time to get up. It's time to get back into being significant. Just woke up. You gotta do what you gotta do. What are you gonna do today to walk towards your goal? I'm just curious. I'm curious. How many text messages are gonna come through today where you respond and end up connecting with that person that can take you off your path? How much time and energy are you gonna dedicate to your gift and your talent or your goal? How committed are you to producing results? If you don't know, now you know. It's true. When you're ready to do something and try something new, that's out of your comfort zone, that's out of your norm, it's always the one you're dating, the one you're married to, the one that's in your family, your friends in your immediate circle, that will always try and talk you out of doing something special and significant. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to make, and they allowed the word no to stop them? Boldly walk into the room with your head held up high. And if they don't get it, laugh about it. Don't disown your ideas because they're disowning your ideas. Don't lose confidence in your ideas because they don't have confidence in your ideas. Don't be afraid to walk into the unfamiliar. Don't be afraid to do what's deep inside of you to do. You got gifts, you got talents, you got capabilities, you got inventions, you got all of these things that you need to unleash on the world. You don't have money, you may not have the financial resources, but don't allow your visions and ideas to be stifled because of what's in your bank account or not. Something inside of you made you say that even though I grew up in this situation, I'm still gonna work and be a better man or a woman. I'm still gonna do whatever I have to do to break the cycle. I'm still gonna decide that I love myself enough to do better, bigger, and more significant things. But it takes a very strong-minded person to decide that because I was born into this, doesn't mean that this is going to define the outcome of what my life and purpose on this earth is destined to be.
I see what's not there. I have visions. My visions are bold and unapologetic.
You know, they say you gotta think out of the box. In my mind, there is no box. To have ideas and visions and dreams, and then to do any means necessary to see to it that the vision come to life. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. And then there's even more power to be able to see what doesn't exist and then to be able to articulate it and verbalize it. Just keeping your minds and your spirits open to the possibilities.
I'm telling you, stop being afraid of the unfamiliar.